everyone, welcome back. This is episode 2 of the 101 patchwork patterns, quilt blocks challenge that I've challenged myself with. So today we're doing, last time we did the Crazy Ann, and this time we're doing the album. So this one is really neat because we're also going to be doing some handwork to put the name in. So, but of course, first I'm going to start by tracing and cutting out my pattern. Okay, so we have all our pieces cut. Now this quilt, I was reading about it down here, it says that it was original purpose was for a gift to a bride-to-be. Her friends would all get together and all make her a block and write her name on it. It really would be amazing to see because everybody sews differently. Okay, so next is colors. I'm going to go with a white because it does show embroidery work better. You could do a solid color too. I wouldn't recommend a pattern for the white part because it should be a solid color because it'd be too distracting possibly with a pattern. But of course you could do it without embroidering anything on it too. And for fun, to add a little color and pizzazz, I'm gonna go with this one for where it calls for the blue blocks. So these will be my two colors. So I'm gonna clear the book off and set this up to start cutting. Oh wait, and of course before we start cutting I'm going to take these over to my ironing board and iron them all because they have been sitting on my shelf for a little while, so they could use a little touch-up. Okay, I am back from the ironing board. I've got my pins, I've got my fabric iron. I'm going to start with this one because I'm not 100% sure I actually have enough, so we're going to find out. Okay, now that we have everything cut, we got to start putting it together. So we're going to have the white piece in the middle, and then we're going to have all our other pieces around. It should look roughly like that. So what I'm gonna do is head on over to the sewing machine and and start sewing it. See if we can get this thing together. Okay, so the book doesn't really say in what order you should sew this. So what I'm gonna do is divide it up into like rows, and I'm gonna sew it that way. Okay, sorry about that. So, like I said, now okay, so it's gonna be like this. I'm gonna match it up, flush with, I'm gonna match it up, sorry about the lighting. It's gonna be flush with the thing, each other, just a little overage on the white on both sides. My white is very thin. Well, should be okay. Attach the bottom after, so I'm gonna set that one aside. Okay, I'm back and I have my block set ready. This time what I think I'm gonna do is, no, I'll just do that. So we've got our top block. We're gonna add the little tiny peak to it. Top it off. Sorry about that pause. I seam ripped and took it out. Oops. Oh, here I go, costing you guys around. There, sorry. So I seam ripped, and this time I pinned. I put safety pins. I put pins in to make sure I line up the spots. So I'm hoping it will give me a better look. I wasn't proud of. Still, I got like a little bit of extra fabric here, so it's probably from me cutting. I probably need it to cut a little bit more precise. But we're learning. We live, we learn, we try. not perfect, but it's a lot better. So let's keep going. Okay everybody, so this is a square. As you can see, it ended up a little bit funny. I'm gonna cut it to make it more square, but I think I figured out what the problem was with this one. It wasn't 100%. Yeah, probably my cutting wasn't the greatest, but also I realized that this fabric is definitely not 100% cotton, the white stuff, because the white stuff was shrinking as I was ironing it. So yeah, not the best material wise. So that's why it's a little funny too shape wise. I'm pretty sure it's because when I was ironing it I could feel it tightening. But hopefully as I cut and adjust it, it'll help it a little bit too maybe. But yeah, as I ironed I realized that like, oh boy, it's shrinking and changing shape drastically. But like I said, this is more of a demo for myself. Like I said, it does look funny, but it's because the fabric shrunk. And I want to be honest with you guys and show you like this. I could go redo it with a different fabric and come back on and be like, oh, here we go. It turned out perfect. But I want you to see that it's okay to have mistakes. We live and we learn from them big time. And like I said, I really like the look of this block. I could definitely see making a quilt from it. And that's the other goal of this thing, is to try to see if there's blocks I would be interested in actually making. So now that it's cut and it's more straight, I'll adjust you a little bit so you can see it better. Like I said, there's still overage there, and this does not look centered. But I want to be honest with you guys. So the other part about this one, though, before we get too deep into it, is the embroidery. So I'm going to sharpen a pencil and I'm going to write out what words I want on this. You could write anything you like. I'm going to go with my son's name, and I'm just going to do it in pencil. Now you could get fabric markers too, but I'm just gonna try to draw it out quickly with pencil because I'm gonna be stitching over this, so you won't see it. I don't know if you can even see it on the camera as it is. So I'm going to go get my embroidery floss and a needle, and then I'll show you how I go about doing that. Okay everyone, I'm back and I've got my embroidery hoop, I've got my embroidery floss, and I've got my needles and a pair of scissors.
So we're going to start with the embroidery hoop. There's all different types of embroidery hoops. There's wood, there's plastic, there's metal. This is just a basic plastic one. So you put one under and then you hook the other one on top. And then once you get it on there, some of them can be a little tricky, but you just push it on. It'll help tighten the fabric. So it'll make it so much easier to embroidery. I've tried doing it before without a hoop and it doesn't go as well, that's for sure. Definitely a hoop is highly recommended for this, and you can pick them up pretty much anywhere these days, especially like Walmart or somewhere like that usually does carry them. So once you've got it all tightened, tighten it fairly well, because like I said, it's better to have the fabric. Then you're going to take your embroidery floss. You can choose how many strands you're going to want to use. Personally, I chose to use 3, and normally they come in strands of 6, but I'm going to go with a strand of 3. So you could also do like 1 strand but double it up, or whatever you like. I'm going to put a knot, and you just choose the needle you're more comfortable working with. You probably wouldn't want to use a big needle, but I'm using about a medium size one here, if I can get it out. They're in pretty good in these packages. There we go. So once you've thread your needle, sometimes it can be hard, but I do recommend the licking the thread technique. It does seem to help for me. I've always had good luck with it. You could also, like I said, if you had doubled up your thread, you could put both ends through the needle and then not, but just catch it with your needle when you went underneath. I'll maybe show you that part in another video, but I like to knot it a few times to make sure it's not coming through. Always start from the back of your work so your knot's hidden back there. And what I like to do now is I like to do like an outline, so I have 2 threads as a base to work on. As you'll see, I'll show you as I go along. So I'm going to try to cover up your pencil mark. Right about here, go a little bit out from the pencil mark, just so I make sure I cover it. And then I'm going to put it in about here. I'm going to jump a little bit, because I'm going to be going down also, of course, to cover the bottom. Sometimes it gets knotted, but usually they come out pretty easy if you just run your fingers through the knot a bit. Here, I'm going to go above it a little bit so that I leave space, so that when I come back later, now you could go in smaller chunks, or you could go the whole way across, because you're going to be covering these strips. These strips will be covered up, so like I said, it's more of to give you like kind of a rough outline, so you keep your stitches roughly the same size. These ropes will tighten as you stitch. And of course I get another little thing, but like I said, usually you just rub your fingers and it'll come off. And then you just go in and out, in and out. It's pretty easy. They do make sewing machines nowadays too that will do this. Usually I think they're a little bit more higher end machines, but maybe even nowadays some of the basic ones do it too. So yeah, this is basically it. I'm just gonna keep going across, and then I will, once I get across the top, I'll do the same thing down, and I'll do that for all my embroidery letters.
So this is it. I'm sorry I didn't get much footage of the embroidery, but my phone was, storage was full and I couldn't get it all filmed. And I already fixed the little spot. I just re-sewed it. I used pink, but you don't see it at all. And yeah, so this is, like I said, the one I've done. There is a little bit of some issues. Like if I was gonna make this as a full-on quilt, there's a few things I would definitely need to work on, is getting it a little bit more finazzed, because like I said, this isn't centered as much as I would like it, but I want to be honest with you guys and show you the whole process and how not everything turns out perfect. Now, this is, I will admit, not my 100% first time doing this square. I have done it before in the past. I think I probably mentioned it in the other video. I had started this challenge quite a few years ago and wanted to do it. Only made it 5 or 6, I think, squares in before life happened and things got hectic. So this time I'm getting the videos up and trying my best to stick to it, hoping that putting these up on the internet will keep me more going, like, you know, I'll feel committed to getting it. So this is the one I did before. It actually seems quite a bit better. Maybe my embroidery work is better on this one, but my squares line up so much better. So with, like I said, some practice, some maybe different material, but I'm pretty happy with these, and my kids love them. When my son seen me doing this one, he wanted me to hang it on his bedroom wall. He's like, could you please put it up on my wall? So I'm like, well, maybe I can turn it into something for you. And like I said, my daughter's so excited about hers too. So I highly recommend this square. Like I said, it'd be cool. You could write all different words. You could do a family tree. You could mix them with solid blocks. Definitely a pattern I will return to. So thank you so much for being here and watching this block journey, and I hope that you will come back next week to see what the next block is. I won't let on because it'll be a mystery. So hope to see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.